Call Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth through rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is Matazah Lacham, giving you, basically just going into what's going on in the world concerning Donald Trump and these EU tariffs and the very high probability that the biblical prophecy of the nations hating the whore and America being the whore of Babylon is going to come to pass. And I saw this video. One of the other brothers was making a video. I watched it, and I wanted to go over to see what he was talking about Donald Trump adding a 30% tariff on other countries, including EU. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody else in the world is pissed off at Trump on these tariffs, and you gonna put tariffs on EU? More Edomites? What the fuck? That didn't make any sense, right? But let's watch this video right quick. Fuck it. Oh man. Whatever, dude.
President Trump announced more tariffs on some of America's biggest trading partners. The newly announced 30% on the European Union and Mexico, set to go into effect on August 1st. ABC's Olivia Rubin has more.
President Trump posting 2 letters on social media announcing new tariffs on the European Union and Mexico, which will take effect on August 1st. The president, in a letter to Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, saying he will impose a 30% tariff on Mexico due to fentanyl crossing at the border, a claim the country has pushed back on. Sheinbaum saying she believes an agreement can be reached with the U.S., but says Mexico will not negotiate away their sovereignty.
Well, these tariffs are real if the president doesn't get a deal that he thinks is good enough. But, conversations are ongoing, and we'll see where the dust settles.
President Trump saying the EU will also face that 30% tariff as a result of the United States' trade deficit, according to a letter addressed to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen.
We've prepared for this, and we can respond with countermeasures if necessary.
But American retailers are having a hard time preparing. Nearly all of the inventory at Pippin Toy Store in Virginia comes from China or Europe. Despite trying to stockpile goods, owner Amy Rutherford says all the tariff threats have her stressed out.
If we can't fill our stores, we can't make sales, which means we can't stay open.
Meanwhile, the White House defending President Trump's 50% tariff against Brazil, saying the president has a right to impose tariffs for national security reasons. The president's letter to Brazil highlighted the ongoing criminal case against a political ally, former President Jair Bolsonaro.
So how is it a national security threat that, how Brazil is handling a criminal case against its former president?
Well, that's not the only thing.
Brazil is the U.S.'s second largest trading partner. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Okay, so yeah, this motherfucker's injecting chaos into the tariffs. Hold on, let me see. Let me go back and see if I can find that other video. Let's see. View all. All right, let me see if I can find that one I saw this morning. Salakia, is that it? No, I think that was it. Yeah, that's it. Boom. Check this out.
Joining me now is a young man who dropped out of Harvard and developed the DUB app, that is DUB app.
Yes, indeed, the United States have sent us a letter with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures till early August. And at the same time, yes, indeed, the United States have sent us a letter with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures till early August. And at the same time, we will continue to prepare further countermeasures so we are fully prepared. Very important in this is always the second and the third element. The second element is to diversify our trade relationships. So this big and important political agreement on a free trade agreement with Indonesia is today a huge milestone forward and shows that we're looking for new open market. And the third element, of course, is working on the single market itself, deepening the single market, because this is our safe harbor.
Thank you. President, you want to add? No? Then we...
Okay. So that just goes to tell you, goes to show you that, yeah, it's almost over, man. Let me go over here to Revelation chapter 17. The doom of Babylon, the great prostitute, right? And there came one of the 7 angels. See, what makes America the whore of Babylon is because she's committed fornication with all of the heathen nations. In other words, that with these trade agreements, tariffs, all of that type of thing. And they were all complicit at keeping the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans away from the fact that they are the Israelites of the Holy Bible. They're the God's chosen people, not the people over there that they put over there in 1948. You know, the 1948ers, the small hatters, right? The Mad Hatters, pretty much. Okay, MAGA hatters. Okay, these Israeli lunatics. Okay, where PDF files and lunatics of gentricide, geocide, and all different types of domestic terrorism is a safe haven for all of these individuals. Okay, the what do you call it? Tel Aviv. Yeah, that's the Mo the Mo capital of the entire world. That's where all the moles. See, so the Israeli, okay, these imposters, okay, these individuals, that's the safe haven for all of the evil and wickedness in the world. Okay, you know, you get caught over here in America, you could claim Judaism, and then you could travel to Israel, and you're free to do whatever the fuck you want to do. You see, it's bullshit, man. The doom of Babylon. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And America has a United States consulate and a military base in every nation on the face of the earth. Okay? And all of the different oceans and all of the different rivers, lakes, and seas, America's got a consulate there. If they have a United States consulate, that means they have a United States military base, a U.S. embassy in that country. That's what it means by the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay? That's America. That's got a consulate in everybody's country. Okay? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Okay? Now, you just saw in the video, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. All of the kings of the earth, okay, are doing business with America through trade deficit, tariffs, trade deals, trade negotiations, all of that, right? And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, right? Where, you know, the end all and be all of life is to become an American citizen, to be American. So they spread the American way of life of do as thou wilt on all of the different nations of the world. That's the reason why the women are getting out of line over in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Bajurjistan, or whatever the fuck it's called. Okay, you know, and these other Muslim nation countries where the woman wears a punjab and keep her body covered. Shit, now they're letting their hair out and showing their titties like America. See, so that's what I'm saying. All the sin and wickedness of America has spread to the rest of the world. That's what made the world drunk on the wine of her fornication, right? So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, right? Full of blasphemy, right? The great whore, Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. America. Okay, and the 7 heads, okay, is NATO. The 7 heads, let's get the 7 heads now. You have full of names of blasphemy, right? Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, the British, and the Greeks. And all 7, count the heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of these 7 heads are members of NATO. And the head, the CEO or chief of NATO is this von der Leyen chick, right? Donald Trump represents the woman riding atop the beast, okay? And the beast is red. Why? Because they all represent bloodshed. Okay, let me see if I can get that. No, I'll just keep going. Okay, but yeah, that's basically what the red colored beast means. Okay, it represents bloodshed. The wings on the beast represent how swiftly blood can be shed and wickedness can spread from continent to continent to continent. Everywhere on this beast in all of the different countries. Now, the heads of all of these different countries, right, are Edomites, right? And all of these different individuals ruled the world at one time. So Esau Edom has the longest rulership on the face of the earth, with power and the sword. Okay? Let me go back. Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Right? And the abominations and filthiness of her fornication is, you get to do as thou wilt. Like I said before, the woman that sits atop is America, full of wrath, full of names of blasphemy. What is it? America, the land of milk and honey. America, the streets of gold. America, where the place where you can get rich quick, you could do whatever. Okay, and all at the detriment of the Israelites. Everybody can come here and make money off of us, right? Verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, the abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, right? And they've been hanging us from trees. They've been shooting us down in the goddamn street in the back when we're trying to run away from them. Okay? They've been they're taking pictures in front of Alligator Alcatraz. Those are the same individuals coming back in the reincarnation that took pictures of us hanging from a goddamn tree. They're the same people. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Okay. Taking pictures. Okay, at Alligator Point, Florida. No, Alligator Alcatraz, right? Taking pictures now, because a photo op visit. Oh, man, come on.
Deuteronomy 31:6 says, be strong.
After being denied access just last week, both state and federal lawmakers are now being invited to tour the controversial detention site.
Yeah. Where's that video? I seen it, man. It was a video of people taking pictures in front of Alligator Alcatraz, man. They were just taking pictures like, hey, look at me, I'm at Alligator Alcatraz. Taking pictures. Okay, people, let me just put yeah, because I seen it, man. I was like, what? People taking pictures at in Florida. Let me see if okay. Okay, damn. I guess maybe it was on TikTok that I saw it. But I don't have a TikTok account, so. But anyway, it just shows the harsh reality of Esau Edom. These people do not give a shit okay, about the detainees at Alligator Alcatraz. They just don't care. Okay? Okay? They know it's inhumane. They don't care.
Well, our detention centers at the federal level are held to a higher standard than most local or state centers and even federal prisons. The standards are extremely high. Now, this is a state-run facility at Alligator Alcatraz, but they have a
stuffed into a jail
they have
cell?
a contrast. Well, I've been there and I've seen these rooms that they are in. I wouldn't call them jail cells. I would call them a facility where they are held and that are secure facilities, but are held to the highest levels of what the federal government requires for detention facilities.
Well,
here's how we found out this viral video.
They're literally selecting the biggest alligators one by one to put around the Alligator Alcatraz.
Isn't what it claims to be. This new immigrant detention center in Florida quickly got national attention ahead of its opening last week, especially around its nickname.
He calls it Alligator Alcatraz.
yeah, it won't. I can't. Okay, I'm going to just go back to the biblical scriptures because I can't find that picture for shit. Okay, now, but you saw the inhumanity of these goddamn... They're selecting the largest alligators to put around the place? Man, come on, man. And then they just flooded. Alligator Alcatraz was just flooded last week. It was flooded. So if they're flooded, that means them alligators can just swim in there and just take people the fuck up out of there and rip them apart. All right? Just twist them and turn them. They'll come apart, think they won't. Okay? And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay? The 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO. Okay? The beast that thou sawest was and is not and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, which means to ascend out of the bottomless pit is the Renaissance period, the rebirth of the Roman Empire, the empire of the Edomites, when they came up during the Renaissance period, which means rebirth, okay, the rebirth period of wickedness on the earth through the beast. And the beast is Rome. The image of the beast is America, okay? And shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. Right? So those are individuals that actually advocate for the wickedness that America pushes on the rest of the fucking world. Okay, you got LBGTQ XYZ community bullshit, transhumanism, transmissionism. Okay, you know what I mean? All of that type of shit, man. And now you have more inhumanity where, you know, you just saw the video yourself, man. They're picking and choosing the largest goddamn alligators they can find. Come on, man. Really? And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, one is, blah, blah, blah. Okay? All right, now, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay? And they've already done that, pretty much. Okay? These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. Right? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Like I said before, in Isaiah chapter 47, it says, I will not meet thee as a man. Right? Isaiah, let's see, 47:4, I think it is. Right, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yep, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Right? So, no, he's not going to meet you as a man. Look what you did to him last time. I mean, look what you did to his people. Shit, I wouldn't meet you as a man either, right? These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. See? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. Okay, so this Vanderland chick, let me go back to that. Okay, where was I at? Hold on. EU, okay. Last warning from Trump to EU, right? Okay. Now you just heard what the chick said. Okay, the chick, she said that they've already got extra what do they call it? Extra steps that they're going to take if necessary, if relations between these Edomites break down, right? Okay, if it breaks down, my ass. Okay, let's go over here to okay, let's see. Satan against Satan. Right. Okay, Luke 11. Here it is. Luke chapter 11, verse 17. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. Right? Right? So let's see. But hath an end. Let's go to Mark chapter 3. Verse 23. And he called unto them and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Okay? So that's what's happening with this Vonderland chick. Okay? The 10 horns which thou sawest is EU, right? Okay, which also could mean BRICS as well, because all of these nations are divided. They were once all together at once. They were once all together with EU, United Nations, all of that shit. And everybody was on NATO's side until NATO started trying to do all of these extracurricular activities at stake, trying to steal more land and take more natural resources, because this is what the beast does. They go from continent to continent to continent, stealing people's natural resources, setting up puppet leaders in place of the actual leaders that fight against them. You see? And, people are getting sick and tired of the bullshit. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her with flesh and burn her with fire. How are they going to do that? With thermonuclear missiles. Intercontinental thermonuclear missiles. And once EU, NATO, once they leave, NATO, and make NATO, all the NATO nations turns against America, that's where the Most High will put in their mind to hate the whore. And the whore of Babylon is America, the woman that rideth and sitteth on top of the beast. See? Okay? So all of these nations that she's sitting on are going to turn against her. Burn her with fire. Make her naked. Okay? Take away all of her, all of the things that make America great. Right? Destroy the people. Destroy the economy. Right? That's what gives America its clothing. Right? That makes America so appealing, to try to break your neck and cross borders and take a chance in getting your family shot to death. To cross the border, so this way you could come to America, so you could start over and have a good life. Right? That was the premise of the so-called illegal immigrants during the Biden administration. Right? Anyway, so all of these nations, the Greeks, the Romans, the French, the British, the Spanish, are all going to turn NATO. They're going to turn against the whore. And burn her ass with fire, right? For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So everybody's going to gang up on America here pretty soon concerning these tariffs, these unrighteous laws and decrees. America is divided amongst itself. Satan is divided against Satan. These Edomites are divided against their own goddamn government. They're willing to go into civil war now. Okay? The farmers are against the United States government. The United States government gets food and subsidies from the farmers. Right? The farmers are divided against the government because there's nobody out there in the fields to pick their food. Donald Trump is doing what he can to bring in slavery with the the 2B 1H bill or 1H 2B bill or whatever it's called that allows the that allows the immigrants to come back into the country legally, okay, and then work on a government program and work in that government program where they get food, they get housing, but they don't get any pay. And they have to work when the government tells them to work. So they're already back in the slavery days right now. I mean, we're already in the slavery days. That's never changed. They just changed the name of it. But as far as the ancient slavery that we went through as Negroes, where the motherfucking the slave owners, the United States government could take the children, sell them off into indentured servitude and enslavement, sex slaves, whatever, okay, or to be sacrificed unto idols, whatever have you, and promise these people that they're going to get back their children, and they never will, okay, because they're going to try to work them to death, make them go out in those fields and pick all of the government farms that the United States government purchased from the farmers, okay, to go out there and pick all of that food for free. You got free room, you got free board, but you ain't getting no money out of it. None. Okay? And that's the new program that's where Donald Trump is saying, well, once we get them out of the country, they can just re-enter the country legally, right? Once you become a legal green card holder, okay, they give you a certain amount of time under contract that you have to work for the United States government. That could be anywhere between a year, 5 years, or 10 years. And they get to work your ass from sunup to sundown. Okay, that's exactly what they did to us. Okay? We didn't get paid either. Okay? Anyway. For the Most High hath put in their hearts, Revelation 17:17, hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, that's the reason why all the kings of the earth are mad and pissed off at America. Okay, let's get it. Jeremiah chapter, what is it? Chapter 51, verse 7. Right? Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Mad stands for mutually assured destruction. If Satan cast out Satan, but if Satan be divided against himself, that kingdom cannot stand, but hath an end. See? So we're at the end. These people are fighting against each other. Okay? They've forgotten all about us. They don't give a shit about us. One never thought of have worn the crown. Let me get that. One never thought of hath worn the crown. Let me just erase that first part because it won't find it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown. Right? And the crown is salvation. We get to wear it for eternity. And all the kings of the earth shall sit down upon the ground. Let's go get it. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And no more is America going to be called tender and delicate. We have to be, we have to walk on glass and eggshells around the American president in order to get what we want from them. That's no longer the case because the leader of America, Agent Orange, is slapping everybody with 30, 50, 100% tariffs, especially against China. China's getting 175% tariff. You think I didn't want to buy some from China? But shit, it cost me what, damn near $2,000 just to buy the bullshit I wanted to get. Fuck it. Okay, ain't no way. I mean, nope, you ain't, no, I ain't got that kind of money. Come on now, I ain't rich. Right? So, yeah, the daughter of the Chaldeans, America, right? And the Chaldeans were the magicians and soothsayers of ancient Babylon. They were like the prognosticators, like the weathermen, the news forecasters, stuff like that. All of these prognosticators, right? Isaiah 47:3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yep, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Okay, so Lucifer, son of the morning, right? The Illuminati, the light bearers, the Most High said, sit thou silent, get thee into darkness. So that shit's going to be thrown away. That's going to be, all the former things shall pass away. The former things that these Edomites have put us through shall pass away very soon. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Right? Everybody was trying to get to America. Now everybody's trying to get the fuck out of America. Okay? I was wroth with my people. I have polluted thine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Right? You just saw Alligator Alcatraz picking the largest goddamn alligators to put outside the place. So that way, the next time it rains, them giant motherfucking 17, 18-foot alligators can walk right on in there. Okay? Can swim right on in there and just bite the shit out of whoever they want. Bite a hole in the fence, everything, you know. Because I seen the video where Alligator Alcatraz was underwater, man. And there were no people in there. Okay? So that means all of that whole runway was flooded. Okay? Anyway. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Right? And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Right? And this is the pride of America. Right? White privilege, white supremacy. You know, that's the pride of their leader, Agent Orange. He got his chest stuck out. Well, we've been getting ripped off forever and blah, blah, blah. You know, saying that they're, you know, you can't whoop America because they have all of these different, what do you call, they have all of their exotic weaponry that they could use against the nations of the world, like the HARP device being used by DARPA, the Defense and Research Projects Agency, you know, to manipulate the weather. Okay? To manipulate the weather that cause earthquakes on the other side of the fucking world. Okay, Dubai was flooded. What was it? The year before last summer? Dubai was flooded. How in the fuck you get a flood in a desert? What was it? Iran was flooded. Right? Man, come on. Syria was flooded. With a flood? Man, come on, man. Really? Yeah. Really. Okay, you could go back and Google it and pull it on YouTube yourself. You think I'm lying. Okay, back in 2024, 2023, yeah. Because they disagreed with Jim Crow Joe Biden's regime or whatever they were trying to do over in those countries. And they had unprecedented rainfall for 3 days. They just, torrential rainstorm just flooded the place. You know, come on, man. Real shit. I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. And Americans don't believe that America is going to fall. Those MAGA maniacs, make America great again bullshit, make America white all over again bullshit, whatever, white privilege, white supremacy, do whatever they want, Ku Klux Klan, yeah. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, and sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Okay, just last week, you know, you had individual Americans called nomads that have got their 401k and their retirement program and go to Mexico thinking that they're going to gentrify Mexico. Okay, and tell the Mexicans, you can't play Mexican music around here. You can't do this, you can't do that in their country. Okay, this is the pride of these Edomite Caucasian devils, man. They just go to anywhere and say, if you don't do what we say, you know, fuck that, man. You see? They dwell carelessly, and sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries, right? And for the great abundance of thine enchantments, right? Making people believe that everything is okay, everything is all right, when everything is falling apart around them, right? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, right? That's how they manipulate the weather. They manipulate other factors. You know, they have their weaponry. They have exotic robots. They have drones the size of a water bottle, or maybe smaller, with a bullet or an explosive device in it that can fly down out of nowhere, hit you in the head and explode and blow your brains out. You know, they have that type of technology, man. I seen it on TED Talks. I'm telling you, man, these people are insane. And they use their power and their influence over their weaponry, okay, to make people fear. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. And all three of these things are going to happen when von der Leyen, you know, the chief of NATO and the EU, turn against America. Evil shall come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. So, like I said before, what was it? Is it Isaiah? I forget. Is it Isaiah? Okay. Babylon is taken at one end. Right. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 31. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. Right? And to be taken. Let's go get that. Let's see. See. No, hold on. Wait. Now, where are you going? All right. Hold on. Boom. Let's go get Jeremiah 51. Right? And 31, wasn't it? Okay. Well, let's start up some. Okay. Let's start up a little bit. All righty. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 27. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a captain against her. Okay, is this not the leader of the BRICS nations? The captain? Gog? Vladimir Putin? And Magog, Russia? Right? Ararat and Mini are Turkey. Right? So Turkey is going to betray NATO and EU and join BRICS. Okay? All right? And appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Right? Okay, so they're going to bring tanks and all kinds of different weaponry against Babylon the Great. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion, which is Magog, Russia, China, and all the rest of the BRICS nations. What is that? Brazil, Russia, Indonesia, China, or India, China, and Saudi Arabia, right? And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. And the only way that America, Babylon the Great, the whore of Babylon, is going to be without an inhabitant is that it be burned with fire. There's nobody alive. Right? The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Don't nobody want to join the military. If they pull the national draft in order to fight for America, ain't nobody going to join up. Okay? The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. Their might hath failed. They have become as women. Flipping the fuck out with transhumanism, transgenderism. Right? Most of the military men are walking around snapping their fingers and mincing as they go forth. Like women. Wearing makeup, dresses as women. Cross-dressing and whatnot. Okay? They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Right? One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. And the passages are stopped. Okay, so it won't be any internet service. And the reeds they have burned with fire. Okay, so it ain't going to be any way for you to travel back and forth. And the men of war are affrighted. Okay, they're going to be scared to death. Oh shit, they just hit us with a nuclear weapon. Mr. President, what do you want us to do? Right? For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 59. Right? Salakia. Verse 19. Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. And the country in the west is America, Babylon the Great, when these words were written. Okay? In the so-called Middle East, Western Asia, right? And his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Right? Let's go get that standard. What is that standard? Standard? What standard? What are you talking about? Okay, hold on. That standard. Lift up a standard. Noose.
Strong's H 5127. Noose. Noose.
Uh-oh. To flee. Escape. To flee. To escape. To take flight. Okay. Metaphorically, to depart. To disappear. To fly. To the attack. On horseback. Okay. To drive at. To take flight. To put to flight. To drive hastily. To cause to disappear. To hide. Lift up a standard, right? To vanish, to flit, like the Flash. That's what the Flash, that's what Quicksilver does in the X-Men, is he flit, boom, take off. You can't see him no more, invisible super speed, i.e. to vanish away, to escape, causatively, to chase, impel, or deliver, right? To lift up a standard, put to flight, to flee, okay? Okay, hold on. To flee from any person or thing. Right? Let's see. Vigor, freshness. To flee away. Okay, let's go over here to take anything away by flight or to put in safety. Okay? To betake oneself to flight. To put in safety. Right? Let's see. In safety. Did I spell? Nope, I misspelled it. In safety. Boom. Deuteronomy 33 verse 28. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Right? Okay. Psalms 12 and 5. For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. Okay. Okay, so the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, has got a plan to save his people, man. Okay, yeah. To put in safety, right? All right. How's the Most High going to do that? Let's go to Isaiah chapter, what is it? Verse 40 and 28, I think it is. Right. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 28. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. Have you never heard? Have you never understood? The Lord is the everlasting power, the creator of the Lord, the creator of all the earth, Salakia. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of his understanding. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall in exhaustion. But those who trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Right? He giveth power to the faint, and them that have no might, he increases strength. Right? But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. Right? That to flit. Right? To flee away. Okay? And not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. See? Hold on. Let's go get more proof that the Most High Yahweh is going to save his people. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. In that day shall the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. And we all know that King David could break a bow of steel on his arm, right? And the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Lord before them. Okay, how's that going to happen? Well, let's go over here to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50. Let's start there. Now this I say, brethren, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Verse 51, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and what is the corruptible? The flesh, your body, right? Like it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 20. All go unto one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Where is he going upward to? Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Then shall the dust that return to earth again, right? Return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it. Right? So if you go over here to Daniel chapter 12, verse 2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Right? How's that going to work out? Revelation chapter 20. Right? Verse 4, let's start there. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai, and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Okay? Right? Those are those that will be raised from corruption to incorruption. Okay? Those are those that are going to be raised from mortal to immortality. Like it says in the book of Daniel, those are going to be raised to everlasting life, and then those that are going to be raised to shame and everlasting contempt. And this is what of shame and everlasting contempt. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power. What is the second death? The second death is fire and brimstone. Right? The first death was the flood. Okay? Fire and water are cleansing agents, right? How do you wash your dishes? With water. Okay? How do you clean something to make sure it's clean? Like you put heat to it. You know, if you want to grind off some rust, you got to use rust. And after you get through grinding all that rust off of there, that metal is hot, ain't it? Okay? Same thing. They're cleansing agents. Okay? So the Most High cleansed the earth with water the first time. The second time, he's going to cleanse it with fire. Okay? So the first death is the flood. The second death is with thermonuclear destruction. Understand? On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High Yahweh and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. You see? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh got all of this already planned out, man. Yep. These bastards are going to hate the whore because of these tariffs. Now, you heard von der Leyen say that with her own lips, right? Uh-oh. Okay, Revelation chapter, what was that? 17, where I was at, right? Right? And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So the blood of the saints, like it says in Revelation chapter 18 and 20. Okay, let's get it. Rejoice over her that are heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall no more be found at all. See? So it's almost over for these devils. Rejoice over her fate, O heaven and people of the Most High God, Yahweh, and apostles and prophets, for at last Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai has judged her for your sakes. Okay? See, so the Most High is going to get revenge for us, man. You have those that are going to be shamed, going to be raised to everlasting life. Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So there are going to be some of us that are going to be martyred. The blood of the saints and the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. Right? But Yahweh Shai is going to raise us up from the dead. All we have to do is endure to the end. Okay? That's all we got to do. Revelation chapter 3. Right? Verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And that hour of temptation is a period of time where they're going to force you against your will to participate in a cashless society. And that's the reason why Donald Trump has Dogecoin, Melania coin, and Trump coin, and investing all of their money in that. Okay? They're flooding out North Carolina and South Carolina because underneath those states, what is a quarter of a mile down, okay, is lithium. Giant plates of lithium. Okay? Russia and Antarctica, which is a part of Russia, I think, okay, drilled into Antarctica and found 511 billion gallons, okay, a billion barrels of oil, crude oil. Okay? So that's another reason why von der Leyen, Joyce von der Leyen, whatever her fucking name is, the CEO of NATO, has the reason why she's going to switch sides with Russia. Instead of fighting against Russia, it'd be better to just be with Russia on the same side against America and these tariffs. It would be better for all of the people over in EU, right? And then they can put the same type of astronomical high tariffs against America. And then America, that's how America would be made naked and desolate, right? Everybody be trying to get a goddamn passport to get the fuck out of here. But then Donald Trump's going to make it illegal for you. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you can't leave, right? And they're going to be keeping everybody's. If you don't have a passport, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get out of America. Real talk. I mean, that's the wickedness of these devils, man. They're going to do everything they can to destroy you. They don't give a shit about you. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Okay? So the Most High, his son, his only begotten son, is telling you, don't give up. Right? And that message is to myself and other individuals that are trying to do everything they can to fear the Most High God and keep his commandments. Right? To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have overcame, and I am set down with my Father in his throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Anyone with ears to hear must listen to the Spirit and understand what he's saying. So if you can understand what's being said here, this von der Leyen chick is deadly serious about leaving America the fuck alone, man.
You will feel at home in only 3 places according to astrocartotography. These are the spots on Earth.
Yes, indeed, the United States have sent us a letter with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures till early August. And at the same time, yes, indeed, the United States have sent us a letter with measures that would come into effect unless there is a negotiated solution. So we will therefore also extend the suspension of our countermeasures till early August. And at the same time, we will continue to prepare further countermeasures so we are fully prepared. Very important in this is always the second and the third element. The second element is to diversify our trade relationships. So this big and important political agreement on a free trade agreement with Indonesia is today a huge milestone forward and shows that we are looking for new open market. And the third element, of course, is working on the single market itself, deepening the single market, because this is our safe harbor.
Thank you. President, you want to add? No? Then we will take a second question. Francesca.
Madam President, Francesca Basso, Corriere della Sera. You received the letter from US. You always choose the dialogue as a strategy, but apparently is not paying off. So what is your reaction to this letter that has some strong tone? Thank you.
So we have, as you know, a two-track approach. It's very important. We have always been very clear that we prefer a negotiated solution. This remains the case, and we will use the time that we have now till the 1st of August. And on the second track, since the very beginning, we have worked and now are ready to respond with countermeasures. We've prepared for this, and we can respond with countermeasures if necessary. So this two-track approach pays off because we are prepared.
Okay, so these motherfuckers are prepared to leave America the fuck alone, man, already, okay? Hey, man, hey, yeah, let's handle that, okay? What? I'll get back to that to find. I'll watch that later to see what Donald Trump is talking shit out the side of his neck about World War III.
Europe did not start this confrontation. We think it is wrong. But my message to you today is that we have everything we need to protect our people and our prosperity. We have the largest single market in the world. We have the strength to negotiate. We have the power to push back. And the people of Europe should know that together we will always promote and defend our interests and our values and together we will always stand up for our Europe. Tariffs will just fuel inflation, exactly the opposite of what we wanted to achieve. We are open to negotiations. We will approach these negotiations from a position of strength. Europe holds a lot of cards, from trade to technology to the size of our market. But this strength is also built on our readiness to take firm countermeasures if necessary. All instruments are on the table. Our immediate response to tariffs is unity and determination. Our objective is a negotiated solution. But of course, if need be, we will protect our interests, our people, and our companies. Europe has not started this confrontation. We do not necessarily want to retaliate. But if it is necessary, we have a strong plan to retaliate, and we will use it.
Okay. They have a strong plan to retaliate and use it. Sounds like nuclear war to me. Shalom.